Am I the astronaut for not being able to stay at my son's wedding? My son, male 24, is now married to Eve, female 24, ? Ooh, she doesn't know. She don't know. That's timely, given the current conversation. They're recently married and their wedding has caused some tension in my family. Let me begin by saying that I work in the securities industry and work gets very hectic for us in the first few weeks of each quarter. I love my family, of course, but it's been an unspoken rule with us that for those few weeks I'm always working and always busy, so it's best to plan around me, so to speak. Eve and my son planned their wedding for October 20th, smack dab in the middle of my busiest season. I was disappointed in my son and told him to change the date, if possible, so that I could attend more easily. He said they had already booked the venue, and in all honesty, I was disappointed in him. I expected some kind of say in their decision, or at least a heads up. Fast forward some months, and it's the week before the wedding. I informed my son that I unfortunately won't be able to stay for the whole thing. I told him honestly that I'd love to stay for the ceremony, but that with work and all that I won't be able to stay for the reception. To say he flipped his lid would be a severe understatement. He asked if I was seriously planning to skip his wedding. I corrected him and told him that I would only be skipping the reception, aka the party. He said it was still his wedding and that he really wanted me to be there. I told him I understood, but he knows how busy I get around that time and that he should have known this could happen when he booked the venue. He said, do whatever you want, and I took that as his acceptance. That doesn't sound like an acceptance to me. That's like saying fine. The wedding was great, and I heard the party was fun. Fast forward to now, my son has been deliberately ignoring me or being short with me whenever we talk, and I obviously attribute this to his feelings about my actions. I asked him about this the other day, and he asked me if I really expected him to not be upset after I skipped his wedding. I pointed out that he told me to do whatever I want, and then I did, and that I'd be well within my rights to actually skip his wedding based on his comments. He's completely ignoring me now. I talked to my wife about it, and she got extremely angry as well, telling me that she thinks he's right and I royally messed up. What do you think? Am I the astronaut here, or are they overreacting over something they knew would happen? I don't know what you guys think, but when any of our kids get married, the world will stop spinning. I don't care what is going on. We will not have a live stream that day. I guarantee it. Like, it doesn't matter what's going on with work. You will stream from the wedding. Yes. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. Yes, I am. We wouldn't do that. I think what you did here, OP, was say that there are times when work trumps my family. Even if your child is a grown-ass person who's getting married, you're saying work is more important than you. There's no way that during that time there isn't somebody that could cover something for you to make it a little bit easier. I get the vibe here from OP that they're a workaholic, and that's okay, so am I, but there's got to be a time where you say time out. This is more important. And I'm only a workaholic so that I can have freedom to do things with my family and to prevent idle hands, that kind of thing. But I think this was a big screw up. I really think it was. And to hell with it's always been this way. They should have known better. You weren't their first priority when planning their wedding. You're not supposed to be. It's not your wedding. Now, some consideration or a heads up ahead of time to be like, hey, plan ahead. You're going to need to find somebody to cover your shit during this time would have been nice. I get that. That would have been cool. But how far ahead did you find this out? I don't know. Fast forward some months and it's the week before the wedding. You had months. You had months to prepare, OP. Months to get somebody to cover your shit. Months to work ahead to figure out a way that you wouldn't have to sacrifice this time. Are you telling me that you couldn't find an extra hour to be there for the reception of your child's wedding because of work when you had months to prepare and figure out how to make it work? I'm sorry, that's horseshit. It is horseshit. It was an excuse. You didn't try. You were offended because they didn't work around you for their own damn wedding. And I think you screwed up. I think you screwed up royally. I understand your justification here, but it's not good enough. All you did was reinforce to your child that work is more important. Also, when your kid said, do what you want, and you took that as, okay, I'll do what I want. And based on those comments, I could have not even gone to the wedding. You're then saying that you didn't want to go to the wedding. You said, what I want is to not be at the reception. I'd rather be at work. You know what I like to do so I don't have to sacrifice family time? I'd rather sacrifice sleep. Are you telling me that you couldn't stay up an hour later that night to be able to stay for the whole thing? It's bullshit. Liar, liar. Pants on fire. Where shall we put OP on the ASCON scale here? It was definitely an asshole thing to do. I think at minimum it's a 2. At minimum it's a 2. I think that I think the fact that they carried through with this, and where it pivots to a 1 for me is this, which yes, I'm putting them at a 1. I think they're a terrible person for doing this, and they don't even know it. I think where they pivoted to a 1 for me was when they said, you said do what you want, so that's what I did. And based on that, I could have not even gone to the wedding. Okay, well, right then you said you didn't want to go to your own child's wedding. That's where it pivoted to a 1 for me. And using the do what you want is not acceptance. It is, you're going to do what you want anyway. It's going to hurt. What control do I have? If somebody says, do what you want, the way that OP's child said it to them here, it does not mean, yes, I am happy and accepting of this situation. Now, I have a different version of do what you want. I think it's like a life mantra, do what you want, but it doesn't mean what it means here. When I say do what you want, it means your actions should align with your goals. And that's kind of what OP did here, but OP's goals are work. And family comes in somewhere way down the line.